It was a typical morning in Springfield, or so it seemed. The sun peeked over the rooftops, casting its golden light on the sleepy town. But as Marge Simpson stirred awake, a strange hum filled the air, a cheerful tune that prickled her nerves. She turned to nudge Homer, expecting his usual snore, but froze. The man beside her wasn't Homer. He had Ned Flanders' face, the bushy mustache, the round glasses, the perpetual, unsettling smile. "Mornin', Marge Diddley Arge," he chirped, his voice a perfect mimicry of Ned's. Marge bolted upright, her breath catching in her throat. "Homer? What's going on?" The man chuckled, a sound too bright, too hollow. "Why, it's me, Homer. Who else would it be?" But his eyes, those sharp, unblinking eyes, weren't Homer's. They gleamed with an eerie intensity, locked onto her every move. Heart pounding, Marge stumbled out of bed and into the hallway. From Bart's room came the same cheerful humming. She peeked inside and gasped. Bart stood there, a miniature Ned, his spiky hair replaced by a neat comb-over, his smirk swapped for that same vacant grin. "Hi diddly-ho, Mom," he chirped. Lisa, still herself, clutched her saxophone like a lifeline, her face pale. "Mom, something's wrong with everyone," she whispered downstairs. The truth unraveled further. Every man in Springfield had become a Ned Flanders clone. They mowed lawns, waved at neighbors, and greeted each other with exaggerated enthusiasm, all wearing identical green sweaters and glasses. Their voices overlapped in a chorus of diddly-doss, but their eyes, those countless identical eyes, followed. The women and girls with an unwavering stare. Marge gathered with the others at the Simpson house. Helen Lovejoy, Maud Flanders, Edna Krabappel, all trembling as they shared their stories. It started after that secret meeting at the church. Helen murmured. Ned called it a men's fellowship, but Maud's voice broke. "It was a cult. I know it." Lisa's mind raced. "We need to check the church. There might be answers there." But stepping outside felt like walking into a trap. The Neds were everywhere, their heads turning in unison as the women passed, their smiles never faltering. Marge shivered. It's like they're always watching us. That night, the women barricaded themselves inside, but the Neds gathered outside, their voices merging into a single haunting chant. "Hi, diddly-ho, neighborinos. Time to join the fun." The words echoed through the walls, a mockery of cheerfulness that gnawed at their sanity. Lisa couldn't take it anymore. Slipping out the back, she crept to the church, her heart hammering. The building loomed dark and silent, but a faint glow pulsed from the basement, peering through. A window, Lisa saw it, a circle of spiral symbols etched into the floor, glowing with an unnatural light. At its center stood a pedestal, an ancient book resting atop it, its pages brittle and stained. She recognized the runes from her book's forbiddens, tied to dark rituals. She had to get inside. Prying open the window, she dropped into the basement. The air reeked of incense and something metallic, like blood. As she reached for the book, a shadow loomed behind her. Well, Lisa Diddley Issa, what brings you here?" The voice was Ned's, but multiplied, a chorus of tones speaking as one. She spun around to face a group of Neds, their eyes glinting in the dark. But something was off their skin, bulged in strange places, as if something writhed beneath. "Stay back," Lisa shouted, clutching the book. The Neds stepped closer, their movements perfectly synchronized. "No need to be frighty-whitey, little lady. We're all friends here." Then she saw it. A bulge on one Ned's arm split open, revealing a sharp, bone-like spike pushing through the flesh. Another Ned's cheek tore, a jagged protrusion emerging, glistening with blood. Lisa's stomach churned as she bolted, their laughter a unified, chilling sound chasing her into the night. Back home, she barricaded herself in her room, and pored over the book. The text was cryptic, but she pieced it together. Ned had led a cult, performing a ritual to spread his goodness across Springfield. But it had backfired or succeeded too well. The true Ned had shattered into 1,000 fragments, each embedding itself into a man, transforming them into his image. They shared his thoughts, his will, a hive mind born of his fractured soul. Days passed, and the horror escalated. The Neds grew bolder, their spikes now fully extended, spiraling patterns of bone piercing their skin. They roamed the streets, chanting in unison, their voices a deafening roar of false joy. The women fought to hold them off, but the Neds pressed closer, their hands now clawed with spikes, reaching out to drag them into their ranks. Lisa knew the source had to be stopped. The book hinted at a hidden chamber beneath the church, where the true Ned might linger. Rallying Marge, Maud, and a few others, she led them back, armed with kitchen knives and desperation. They found a trapdoor in the basement, descending into a tunnel lit by flickering candles. At its end lay a chamber, and there, suspended in the air, was Ned, or what remained of him. His body was a grotesque mosaic, fragments floating in a web of glowing tendrils. His face split into a maniacal grin. "Welcome, ladies. Ready to join the Flanders family?" His voice boomed, 1,000 tones in one. Lisa stepped forward, the book trembling in her hands. "Ned, this isn't you? The ritual twisted you." He laughed, the sound shaking the walls. "Twisted? This is perfection. Everyone's happy, everyone's good, just like me." But Lisa had found a counter-ritual. As the women distracted the floating fragments, slashing at the tendrils, she chanted the ancient words. The chamber quaked, the tendrils snapping as Ned's pieces writhed. His laughter turned to shrieks, the fragments slamming together with a sickening crunch. When the light faded, Ned lay whole on the floor, unconscious, human again. Outside, the Neds collapsed, their spikes retracting, their faces melting back to normal. The men of Springfield blinked, dazed themselves once more. The women emerged, exhausted but alive, the nightmare seemingly over. Yet, as they walked home, Lisa noticed something. In Homer's eyes, a fleeting glint of Ned's cheer flickered. On Bart's arm, a faint spiral pattern lingered beneath the skin. She clutched the book tighter, a chill settling in her bones. The true Ned was gone, or was he? Perhaps a piece of him still lived, waiting, watching in everyone.